Duskbin on the Radiant, Ice on the Dire. This is our final best out of 3 today. For today, guys, this is loser bracket action, so whoever loses this will be knocked out of the tournament. Duskbin was oh so close to that winner bracket finals, but they had to go through the freight train that was Aeon, the brick wall that was Aeon. Unfortunately, they didn't have what it takes to beat them, so here they are, matched up against Ice, who look pretty shaky, and I think that's being generous in their match against Fineski yesterday.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree on that. But with that said, I mean, if you go all the way back to Wednesday when they versed Tong Fu, they actually looked all right there. I mean, they had a few mistakes here or there. They definitely had some lapses in concentration, but overall, they played a very strong game too. Game 1 was a bit one-sided, but still, they're a team with promise, and they're a team who have had some strong results in other tournaments as well, with some upsets, including one over Tong Fu, a game which we've explained already. But it's still a win nonetheless, and this game we do see, once again, Chen Enchantress, the dual combo ban, which has been so common by a few of these teams, not going to get either of those heroes in the hands for Duskbin. And I mean, everything else pretty straightforward when it comes to the bans and picks. Or the ban, sorry, specifically. The picks itself, we're going to see Prophet being left in the pool. So is the winner, and one of those two heroes will likely be the go-to hero for Ice.
Yeah, great heroes to start off with, that Windrunner and Prophet. Of course, we know about the mobility, the laning presence, the mid-game domination. I'd be surprised to not see Ice pick either of them up. It will be the Prophet to start, but the Queen of Pain is here, and hey, we might see that opening again. The Queen of Pain, as well as the Windrunner that we've talked so much about. Now, Duskbin, of course, they could go for that anti-mage, could go for the hard carry. Everything is available for now, but the semi-carries, the strong laning and mid-game heroes, tend to be the ones that are first off the board. So we'll have to see. Duskbin taking their time with these picks. They realize, of course, the importance of this match. And perhaps a little shaken up. Aeon really spanked them soundly in that last series. They really got outclassed. And so if you're Duskbin, you probably want to make sure you get your drafts right, because their drafts were just not good enough in the previous series.
Yeah, absolutely. And with Prophet going to be the go-to here for Ice, that's something that they do use every now and then. We'll see who's playing it. We saw Brucelee play it yesterday on that side lane solo with some disastrous results. Queen of Pain, though, Duskbin, this could just be the Queen of Pain winner in a combo, which we've seen being just such an effective pair of mid-game heroes, and it wouldn't be the first time we have seen it as the first two picks, but they're going to get the Sand King instead. Sand King's a nice hero. It actually deals well with that Prophet split push. The Burrow Strike with the stun in, you can go through, you can find him when he's in that sprout. You can just also deal with any push he does do with both his other two skills, and it's a nice hero in some ways for countering a Prophet. I mean, not a hard counter, but it's slightly better than ES for dealing with it. And now here comes the dual pick for Ice. I imagine we'll see that winner being picked up. Winner and a Prophet, a strong combo, and also something that can have some mid-game pushing potential.
The question, as it always seems to be, is what kind of a Sand King are we going to see today in this game? Will it be a support Sand King? Will we finally get our chance to look at a... Oh boy. Well, we'll talk about those two picks in a second, but are we finally going to get a chance to see a farming Sand King? If the Sand King doesn't get a good start, I mean, he is very easily picked off between the Prophet, Windrunner, and Anti-Mage. Lots of chasing power there on these three heroes. They're mobile. They can be aggressive for Ice. Of course, one thing Ice is a bit lacking in is that team fight department. Sure, you've got the Prophet ult, you've got the Shackle Shot, you've got the Power Shot, a decent amount of burst damage, but the lockdown is not there. And against Queen of Pain, Sand King, they're very mobile. You really need that lockdown, so I would not be surprised to see either an Earthshaker or a Tidehunter picked up if they're available. If you're Duskbin, maybe you look to ban those. Speaking of mobility, there's another mobile here. We're going to see that iconic matchup between Morphleet and Anti-Mage in yet another Asian game.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I think this time around we may see something a bit different here, as it is going to be Duskbin. The team who, I mean, they do have the edge here. They've got the Sand King and Queen of Pain, two nice heroes to have for that AoE mid-game team fight, whereas Prophet and Winner, not as much DPS coming out from them, but they have superior mobility, they do have the kiting potential, and they can survive a lot longer against a Morphling, whereas if Sand King or Queen of Pain gets stunned and locked down, Anti-Mage can tear through them. So we'll see what Morphling wants to go, what build he wants to use here as the second round of bans are coming out. Enigma's being taken out, and I imagine we may see a couple support heroes being banned up by Duskbin, as Ice don't really have too much for the Anti-Mage yet, depending on whether or not Prophet is going to be in the jungle or played in a more support-based role.
Yeah, Earthshaker is still available, and I'm really keeping my eyes on the bans here to see if he makes it through. Tidehunter to start. It seems like Duskbin have a good sense of what Ice is missing. The missing ingredient for this lineup is that AoE presence, that defensive team-fight-oriented hero. A simple Ravage or a Fissure that hits a couple of heroes can easily give Anti-Mage all the time he needs in the world to clean up those heroes. And Duskbin, they are pretty squishy, at least early on, Queen of Pain in particular. Sand King can get tanky if he gets that farm, although it looks like they already have two really heavy farm-dependent heroes in that semi-carry Queen of Pain and that hard-carry Morphling, so I'm feeling like this might be a support Sand King. He could be their third farmer, but they'd have to pick up two hard supports if they want to go that route, and knowing Duskbin, they have been known to play that support Sand King, so we'll see, and it's going to be a Shadow Demon ban out by Ice, and they actually have the first pick coming out of the stage. It's an interesting pick because I feel there's an interesting ban. I feel there's room for the Shadow Demon on their side, but if they don't want to go for it, then it makes a lot of sense to ban it out.
There is, but I think they want to go for a more aggressive support hero. I mean, in some ways, I mean, a more aggressive support hero can mean more farm for anti-mage. Going for the CM, the Venomancer, the Vengeful Spirit, just because Shadow Demon just sort of sits back and sort of protects the anti-mage. It's the same reason why Warlock isn't really picked as a support anymore, because he doesn't really do all that much in a lane. Shadow Demon's good because he does provide some utility in the mid-game. He can keep heroes alive with the disruption. The Purge is fairly useful as well. But I agree they can fit it in, but I just think there's better options for them, and it's more likely that Duskbin want to fit it in as a counter to that anti-mage.
Well, with the Shadow Demon banned out, as well as the Earthshaker, Duskbin, really smart bans by them. I completely agree with both of these bans. Looks like they should have the best AoE stun on the map in that Sand King Burrow Strike. I can't think of anyone else offhand who can really match that. In terms of his initiation power, his teamfight presence, right now, Duskbin have a lot going for them. That burst damage in particular on this team. Sure, they're up against an anti-mage. If he gets big, they could have a hard time bringing him down, but Morphling, Queen of Pain, pretty good chasers in their own right, and together, none of these heroes can necessarily stand toe-to-toe with anti-mage on their own, but as a collective unit, they have what it takes to keep him locked down all game long. They also get going earlier, and if you're Duskbin, I think that's the goal. You don't have to kill the anti-mage, but you want to be punishing the rest of the team. And there's a hero who they can punish, although she is so strong in the laning phase. In that Crystal Maiden, she is snapped up, probably the most popular support right now in Southeast Asia.
Yeah, no, I agree. It really is, and Ice have used it quite frequently with this anti-mage. And the thing is, I mean, I'd say Duskbin are favourites here, but Ice, as far as lineups go, they have got such a safe and stable lineup, something that while it's going to be predictable how they want to lane this, I imagine it's going to be just simply put winner at mid, Prophet at bottom, or if it's not, we'll know. We can tell by that last pick. We can tell the Prophet's going to be in that jungle, and they'll just run the CM anti-mage at top in the safe lane, and it looks like it may be even up against something like a Batrider, something that can be punished by that dual lane. And for me, it's a very sort of foolproof strategy. I mean, it just comes down to actual hero play. There's not much execution required for their strategy. It's just get the anti-mage farm, have a strong mid-game with the winner and going for a mech and a 4-star, and Prophet providing some additional pushing and utility as well.
Yeah, everybody on Ice has a very clearly defined role, and like you said, the lanes are likely to be predictable, but that's not the worst thing in the world. This Batrider pick, to me, one mechanics point I want to make is there's a decent chance we'll see him matched up against the Crystal Maiden Anti-Mage up top. Batrider often seen in that suicide lane position. Sometimes we'll go mid or the safe lane, but generally he will be up there. In Dota 1, you cannot frostbite Batrider while he's in that, while he's got his fiery path behind him. God, I can't remember the name of that spell to save my life. But yeah, when Batrider's flying in the air, Crystal Maiden can frostbite him in Dota 2, and that is a big difference here because generally it's very hard to lock down the Batrider. Even if you blink, Batrider can simply fly over a cliff and get away, but that won't necessarily be possible against Crystal Maiden. So a slight mechanics difference in Dota 2 could have big implications here for how that laning stage will turn out. We'll have to wait and see. It is an aggressive hero, but also another hero that needs farm, and so we are going to see a support Sand King. I'm a little disappointed, but hey, we get to see Batrider. It's a very fun hero to watch, especially if he gets a good start. Definitely a hero that can give you that additional piece of lockdown you need to take Anti-Mage and his collection of support heroes down.
Yeah, I agree. It was largely picked up to deal with the Anti-Mage, although once you get that Manta style, you can blink in Manta, and I mean, mid to late game, I feel Batrider is maybe not the best choice against Anti-Mage, but if he get a fast blink, which I don't think he'll do if he's in that hard lane. He may have to go either to mid or in the safe lane just so he can get that fast blink. Then he can be an effective counter. You can blink Lasso with some follow-up disables coming from heroes like Sand King, the burst damage from the Morphling, the Queen of Pain. You can take him down, but he may just be a suicide bat with the Morphling, just getting that free farm in the safe lane. I'd say it's more likely. Here's your Lina, the Sand King Lina combo. This goes way, way back, although it's not going to be the Sand King Lina dual lane. It will look to be a tri-lane here with the Morphling, I'd like to say. And the Dire team, Ice. I mean, this strong tri-lane, CM, Vengeful Spirit, Anti-Mage. I mean, it's something that will not really be able to be contested. Even if I don't think it's smart for Duskbin to do a tri-lane top. Sand King and Morphling both have short range. You're up against a CEM Venture Spirit who also have that creep pull option, also are going to be in their safe lane near that tower. It's going to just be, I imagine, Suicide Batrider in that top lane, and Anti-Mage should be able to free farm, much like Morphling will at bottom.
Yeah, Suicide Bat, likely to be the way they go here. Now, Batrider can get a little bit of farm and experience in that lane, but Batrider is an initiator that requires more in terms of items than other initiators. For example, Beastmaster with the Roar, he doesn't have to blink in, he doesn't have to be in the middle of the fight, he can cast Roar from a safe distance. Batrider has to be in the middle of the fight because his Flaming Lasso has a very low cast range, and that means he is in a lot of danger of being burst down by Ice's squad. So for Batrider, he may struggle to get those items up if the lanes go the way we predicted. And a Batrider without items, I could see him being food. Sure, it's nice if you can get that quick Blink Dagger. Where is he going to find the gold? It's not going to be on his own. Perhaps we'll see some smoke ganks, or the other lanes dominating early on, and that can snowball in his favor. But I think Batrider in that Suicide lane could have a tough time, and it's a lot of pressure rests on the Queen of Pain's shoulders, a roaming combo of the Lina as well as the Sand King to get things rolling in the right direction for Duskbin.
I'm thinking about this. I mean, it's going to be an Anti-Mage tri-lane top against just a Suicide Bat, right? It's not like they have to stay as a tri-lane. They can, once they get Anti-Mage a nice early start, they can smoke gank mid, although Queen of Pain isn't the easiest hero to gank, but they can just leave maybe one spot top and have VES, go help out mid for a bit of a sort of temporary dual lane, or just do a bit of harass on the Queen of Pain, help make sure Queen of Pain doesn't get too many runes. Just one support hero is enough to punish a Suicide Bat solo. So it's one of those things where even after the first 5 or 6 minutes, when some of those supports start leaving, Batrider will have a hard time. Even a solo anti-mage, if he gets a fast ring of health, can sort of outlane a Batrider, and it's going to come down to this bottom lane. The Queen of Pain, especially at mid, will need to have a good game, assuming that is going to be Queen of Pain at mid. And Ice, on the other hand, they're going to be looking to have Bruce Lee. Once again, he's on the Suicide Prophet, and he needs to make sure he gets that first creep wave pulled to the side, and that's something that Duskbin have to be proactive in stopping.
I wouldn't mind seeing Bruce Lee go mid and throw the Windrunner into that offlane, though. I think that'd be the better way to go, especially because while Prophet is not going to necessarily control the runes as well as Queen of Pain, he's got a chance at it. He's always got the teleportability to try and grab them before her if he wants to. And frankly, it's a safer opportunity for him to hit a quick level 6. Windrunner is a pretty effective offlane, and Bruce Lee generally seems a lot more comfortable with a good start. So I'd rather see a mid Prophet. I think it can work. Queen of Pain might out-harass him a little bit, but Prophet still, with the high ground to work with, shouldn't be in too much danger of ganks. He is a bit squishy, though, and against the Sand King Lita, if they roam, it could be trouble. But hey, I'd like to see Bruce Lee go somewhere besides that offlane. We'll have to see how Ice chooses to lane it. We do have a pause here. But yeah, as always, a lot rests on Bruce Lee's shoulders, along with Nick. We saw yesterday, Nick struggled a little bit to get farm going at times against Beneski, although in the end he got just enough to carry it. Hopefully he gets off to the fast start that Ice needs.
Yeah, they really want to have a good early game on this Anti-Mage, try to get up that Battle Fury as quickly as possible. Another quick pause coming from these guys. As, yeah, I mean, Anti-Mage, going for that fast, imagine this will be a Battle Fury game. He could go for the Vanguard, but ultimately I feel Battle Fury, if you can get it up around the 12-13 minute mark, and then just look to get up his next big items as quickly as possible, is the best way to go when you're up against a Morphling. Duskbin, to start things off, do have a couple of heroes heading top. I mean, this could actually be something they did I think it was Wednesday when they were against World Elite. We could be seeing a side lane a safe lane solo Morphling and this tri-lane with the Batrider. I don't think Batrider is the best tri-lane hero, but tri-lane up against an anti-mage could be a way to go. And instead of having Morphling in that tri-lane, a hero who in that tri-lane wouldn't farm all that well because of the amount of sort of action there'll be in a 3v3 lane, it could be Batrider who also has additional range and can do okay. I mean, you've got the dual stun with a Morphling, with a Batrider, and that's something they can actually use to shut down Anti-Mage, who has gone for a fast Poor Man's Shield. He's a bit low on HP regen. We may see some being pulled from this Vengeful Spirit, but this is going to be an early smoke. Okay.
Yeah, this is not something we see much of recently in any region of Dota, as teams are usually wise to these types of ganks and play very carefully. But it is going to be an early smoke, an early 100 gold investment. Maybe they'll just use it to get up some wards, but they may have a chance to pick off the anti-mage here. Oh, what a start it would be for Duskbin. Oh, unfortunately for them, no lane ward is placed. Normally something you like to see with an early level 1 smoke, so you can see if someone is coming into the lane. Maybe look to set up on them. They're going to go... Are they really going to hang around here? Hope to catch someone mid. It's going to be that Windrunner. So it will be Windrunner mid, Prophet in the off lane.
Is Morphling going to be bottom though? Like as a solo, we could do Morphling. Morphling does well against Prophet. That's what we saw. I mean, it was the exact matchup in Duskbin versus World Elite. They had Morphling against the Suicide Prophet, and then did their tri lane in the hard lane. Do you think they'll go for that again?
They could. A tri-lane Batrider, I'm not sure how I feel about it, though. He needs a lot of levels, and it would be an offensive tri-lane. Batrider, you really want to hit that quick level 6. You really want to get maxed out in that Firefly and Sticky Napalm early on. I'm not sure it's worth it. But at the same time, if you can shut down Anti-Mage, it would be. Still, where's the initiation going to come from? And, you know, you said this yourself. This is why we generally wouldn't see a Sand King Lina in an offensive tri-lane without a great setup. It's really hard for Lina to hit that Light Striker, right? Sand King Barrel Strike, such low range, and Sticky Napalm is a nice slow, but against an anti-mage tri-lane, playing so defensively, it's going to be tough to pick anyone off.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the Ice have two options. They just sit back and use the creep pool to out-level them, or if they just want to go tri-lane versus tri-lane, I mean, they've got the longer range in their initiation. Sand King can't just walk in and stun. I mean, VS can stun him before he does. I mean, you can dodge that VS stun with Sandstorm. It's not that easy to do, though, and CM has the Nova to slow them down, so ultimately, as long as Ice don't get caught out of position, their tri-lane should win. They can even pull those small camps, even if the main pool camp gets blocked. Pull the small camp over near the tier 2 tower, and then you can even pull that big camp on the far right to that as well. So it's really easy for Ice to win this top lane, even if they're not getting kills, just by XP and gold farmed alone. And I mean, while Anti-Mage may not get the best of farm, they should be winning quite convincingly on XP. But it's going to be this tri-lane at top. Sand King Lina going to start out at top. They may do some roaming. VS is going to spot it out. Going to see a stun. Nova goes first with a Sand King stun. Lina going to chain stun this. And here comes Barrow. This is not looking good for the Vengeful Spirit. Although Sand King may go down first. Blink in by Anti-Mage. CM gets the first blood. Nice play by Anti-Mage, making sure they got the kill first. And then not done. CM in trouble. Gets stunned. 2 napalms on him. They're trying to get this Batrider. The Nova goes down. Anti-Mage, I don't think there's enough damage to get this kill. He's going to need 2 more right clicks. He blinks in. He turns Batrider around. He just gets enough damage off. That was very close. If Batrider had just used a Tango or something, he would have lived there. And 2 for 2 trade. Anti-Mage getting a kill and an assist. I have to say, Ice do come out on top there.
They definitely come out on top, and that's going to get Anti-Mage that much closer to whatever his first item of choice will be, which looks to be a quick Rain of Health. Maybe we'll see that even that Rain of Regen into the Rain of Health. That's certainly been an option for some players here and there. In the middle lane, a pretty iconic matchup. It's going to be Queen of Pain actually up against the Windrunner, and Queen of Pain definitely has the advantage in this lane, especially mid, because with the high ground, she can easily look to get some pot shots here or there. It also has a little bit better rune control presence in the early stages with that blink, being just a little bit more reliable than the Windrun. Of course, Shadow Strike so annoyed in lane. It should be an even matchup, and the wild card here is going to be Bruce Lee in that off lane. On the Prophet, this is actually going to be the first time we've seen Bruce Lee in this tournament not having a bad start. Or at least I think it is, because while Morphling might get farmed, he's unlikely to get solo kills. Lay in trouble top, really aggressively located here. And, oh, Prophet TP's in. Looks like Lay is going to go down. 1 more right click. Bruce Lee gets a much needed kill. He is going to have to journey a long way back to bottom. That gives a lot of free farm to Ninjaboogie. Still, Bruce Lee getting a good start. 7 and 3 CS, already 700 gold in the bank.
Yeah, that's going to help him out a lot. I mean, if he really wants, he could just stay in the jungle, kill that small camp, and wait for the TP to come back up. But he's going to start walking bottom, as well as Windrunner. So we'll see if they want to switch those lanes up. It looks like Windrunner is going to go bottom against the Morphling. I like this decision if it's the case. In fact, I think Windrunner does do better, has better last hitting, and just better lane control than a Prophet. So, and also, Prophet wants to gank, and they do not want to leave Morphling alone to free farm. They are okay with maybe leaving Queen of Pain to get some free farm, but leaving Morphling in an open lane is not a good decision. So, yes, Windrunner switching bottom up against Morphling. First waveform actually going to miss, but here comes some support. Sand King will be there to back up the Morphling, but Sand King just level 1. But the problem is Windrunner right now is just trading hits a bit. If Windrunner gets low, that could be a potential kill. Yeah,
I really like this lane switch. First of all, it was just a little bit more convenient for them. Bruce Lee didn't want to have to walk all the way back bottom. So part of it was just the math, the mathematical reality of how long it takes them to get there. But aside from that, I think this is a better lane for the Windrunner to be in than the Prophet, especially with Sand King joining the fight. Windrun is available, should be able to get out. Yeah, no points to Adaptive Strike this early. That's something you just don't see anymore with the recent buffs to Morph. So Windrunner, I like this choice better. Actually, Queen of Pain, gets a kill on Bruce Lee. That shouldn't happen. And Bruce Lee just a little sloppy. Not sure exactly how he got picked off, but guessing it was just the burst damage of the Queen of Pain. Bruce Lee underestimating that.
Yeah, and just the level 1 Shadow Strike, but it proved to be more than enough. Antimage's top is only up to 9 creep kills. This has proven to be a difficult lane to free farm, and Batrider as well. I mean, the thing is, it's not that Batrider is just winning this lane and out farming it, it's just that neither side will farm. Because of the amount of harass happening, they'll just be trading hits a lot. The Dire team, though, Ice, do have the sort of the control over the lane. They've got the ward there in the jungle. They've unsuccessfully de-warded the pooler. That sentry ward is very far away, and that's going to make this a lot harder for Ice. What they should maybe be doing is pulling that small camp over near the tier 2 tower. But when you're finding a regen rune at bottom, that's going to help her out a lot in this bottom lane.
Yeah, definitely is going to help her out a lot. ninjaboogie having a decent time here. He is up to 19 CS. Actually, he's leading the way. Action top, it looks like Arjun is going to eat a magic missile. Light Strike Array only hitting on 1, and there's the power of that Frostbite holding Batrider in place, even while he's in Firefly form. A change from Dota 1. And a costly one. He is going to live, though. The turnaround comes, and Batrider, if he doesn't get burst down, is so devastating in this situation. Look at that Crystal Maiden melting. He might even get a triple kill. Oh, Anti-Mage, so lucky to survive there. He is at least going to get the double with Crystal Maiden. And where is the Prophet? Prophet actually choosing not to participate in that fight. Or did he? No, he's dead. He died. Where did he go down? Oh, Queen of Pain got another kill on him. I don't know if Sandcade participated in that. Brucelee having a horrible start again. He started off great, but already 2 deaths to his name. At least he got that kill, but he's going for Midas build, and you can't give up early deaths if you're trying to do that.
Yeah, it looks like Sandking did help out that game. He's got another assist. And bottom lane, right now, ninjaboogie having a bit of a hard time. He has run out of bottle charges. He may have to just do some bottle crowing now. Or alternatively, hit level 6, pop the replicate down, TP back to base, and then replicate back in. But he is going to start, walk all the way back to base. So there's not going to be any bottle crowing. Mid lane, they've come for Brucelee again. Queen of Pain has ulti if they need it. I'm just going to pop the scream, couple more right clicks, and that is a dead Brucelee. 3 deaths in about 3 minutes time at this mid lane. Really good start for Duskbin in mid lane, and another bad game on the Nature's Prophet from Brucelee. And we're going to have to see how they can turn this around. They need to have this anti-mage getting farmed. This is not something they can afford on this Nature's Prophet to just keep on giving away deaths like this.
Oh, the Light Strike Array to initiate, and it looks like Arjun looking to go in there. Unfortunately, does not have any real sticky napalm. He's leveling up Firefly over the sticky napalm. An interesting choice, but because he's in this defensive position, he's less likely to be able to stack it. So I suppose it makes sense. You get that guaranteed damage from the Firefly. You don't have to worry about maintaining a high level of stacks. In a 1v1, you always see Sticky Napalm max first. But in this situation, a nice little deviation. I think it's a decent choice here. I want to say I'm really not liking the way that Ice is playing this. I don't know what else they can do differently, though, because this anti-mage needs a lot of help against the aggression of Duskbin. But because they require so many heroes up top, it's making life difficult for Brucelee, as well as that Wind. Not so much the Windrunner right now, but she was under pressure earlier, even though she didn't die. And this is why Brucelee's dying, is because those 2 supports are really required to stay up top, just to keep the anti-mage alive. It all goes back to those first few kills, going the way of the Batrider, who is 3-1. Now he can really outlay the anti-mage, even with the Ring of Health. Batrider is so strong with that quick boost of speed and the quick levels. He's got Flaming Lasso. They're looking to catch on Sandcade here. Burrow Strike it onto the Vengeful Spirit, and Batrider pops the Flame Break, or excuse me, not the Flame Break, but the Firefly. He's actually not going to find anyone. Not the biggest steal in the world, though. He did not use the ult there, and Anti-Mage going to come back in, can look to continue his farm.
Yeah, the CM and the VS, those are 2 very squishy support heroes. I mean, up against the Sand King Lina combo, it's one of those things. If you land a Burrow Strike followed by a Lina Stun, that's a dead support hero. But if they can position themselves well, they're not going to go down. Here we go, Firefly on cooldown. Prophet coming in with a TP game, but look at this. Lina doing so much damage. They take up the VS. They do end up losing the Batrider, but they're still in trouble. Lina has another stun in a second. No, he gets mana burned, and it looks like we'll just see a 1-for-1 trade. But I'd say Duskbin going to be pretty happy with that one. Here we go. Queen of Pain's made her way top. Gets a kill. Prophet ultimate bouncing around. Gets Lina and Sanking both very low. Both managed to stay alive. As bottom lane, it looks like Morphling got solo killed by this Windrunner. Yeah,
didn't catch that. There was just too much action top, and things continue to go well for Duskbin, aside from that Morphling, who's really struggling. But if all these semi-carries, all of these burst damage heroes on Duskbin continue to have a good time, I think there will be space for ninjaboogie to free farm. Whereas the anti-mage seems to be running for his life already. Brucelee, will he go down again? He will. Oh, Brucelee, this Midas build is not working out for you, my friend. And a Midas, it's still not that late, but it's the fact that he's feeding the gold to the Queen of Pain as well, who's already got 2 no talismans, power tricks, and a bottle. Great early item purchases, cheap, affordable, easily built up, giving her those nice stats to work with, and can micro that bottle or micro those treads just to maximize your use of the bottle charges, allowing this Queen of Pain to continue to be very effective here as we start to approach the mid game.
Oh yeah, and this Windrunner at bottom is doing really well all of a sudden. 43 Q kills, starting to outfarm this Morphling and just put a lot of pressure on the Morphling, slow down his farm. As Windrunner did get that 1 kill. It looks like it was the Prophet ultimate which actually secured the kill, because Windrunner did not get the gold, the kill score for it. So it was probably with some unexpected damage that Morphling did in fact go down, but he's got backup this time. He's got Sankin coming in. Sankin dropping Observer in lane. One wave going to go through just maybe to sort of start chipping away at this Windrunner, and now Sankin
top lane
looking for a stun.
Arjun in a lot of trouble. He will go down to the anti-Mighty Jolt there. The Prophet ult bouncing through again. Finally, I think we're going to see Brucelee get up that Midas unless he dies again. This is somewhat reminiscent of his previous game, but in that game he ended up going 1-10. So already he's doubled his kill score. He's looking good by comparison. Burrow Strike waveform onto Wenz. Should be able to get out again with the yeah, he will be just fine. He's actually taken 2 points of Wind Run. I like this choice. Normally you see the Shackle Shot max, but you are in that suicide lane. You have been ganked a few times already, so a slight deviation that's helping to keep him alive. And Lei, despite putting a lot of pressure on this lane, is quite underleveled and underfarmed. Only 1 creep, 1 and 2. We're not going to see a quick Blink Dagger. He'll be lucky to get his Arcane Boots the next 5 minutes.
Sanking Windrunner duking out. Here is Queen of Pain though. Scream actually misses. Ooh, bit of a mistake there from Queen of Pain. Thought he had that Scream. He does not have a Sonic Wave. He's going to try to chase this down. He gets the Shadow Strike, though. Nature's Prophet coming to provide some backup. This another Scream misses. The Shackle does not shackle to the tree somehow. I don't know how. It must have been the Sprout used a bit too late, and there was no trees behind. Prophet, it's Bruce Lee. It's always Bruce Lee going down to Queen of Pain again. And Windrunner actually escaping.
It's one of these situations where perhaps you should be playing a bit more selfishly. Anti-Mage just going to eat the Batrider ult, but he's not really too concerned about it. Not enough burst damage right now, this Anti-Mage, and Batrider doing a nice job of flying behind the trees here. He will survive. I'd much rather, in that situation, it's a lot better to let the Windrunner die and get your Midas up. He even had the Midas Gold, he just didn't buy it in time. Maybe not using that quick buy. Perhaps not overly comfortable with the Dota interface just yet. The Dota 2 interface just yet. I know even I don't use it. I've been playing this game for about 8-9 months now, as much as I should. So, it's hard to say with middle tower, in spite of Queen of Pain's roaming around the map, still managing to pressure this, and look how far back Bruce Lee has to play. Frankly, maybe a good time for him to just hop into the jungle and make sure he can get this Midas up. Maybe he won't even go for it anymore. He could go for treads instead. Although if he wanted to, he could have purchased them by now.
Yeah.
Bruce Lee just having another horrible start.
Exactly. I mean, he could, if he really wants to just sort of get some survivability, he could even just go straight for that mech at this point. But with that Glove of Haste there, it does look like he really wants some Midas. And we'll see him getting that soon, but it's just so late, as mentioned already. And this top lane, though, they are getting some kills in farm to Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage has Treads, Ring of Health. He's maxed out the Mana Break, so he's maximizing his damage and hero killing potential. And with the CM and VS lane, I think this is the right build to go for. He could still go for the Battle Free, but even going for a Vanguard this game, I think, wouldn't be all that bad, especially against this aggressive Sand King Lina combo, who are now sitting in the bushes here. They've got it warded. They're also making sure that the Dire team don't have any wards of their own with their sentry.
Yeah, the best defense is often a good offense, and that Anti-Mage, removing the opponent's mana pools, doing a lot of damage, can instantly drive them back. And of course, we talked about the great initiation of these two supports. Although they're squishy, if they drive Duskbin back, they don't have to worry about that. Looks like Batrider pops his Firefly, and in comes Queen of Pain from the right-hand side, instantly getting that kill. And look how low that initiation range is for the Batrider. Walks right next to Venge, but the cast is too long. Blah in the middle of everything here. In comes ninjaboogie with the haster. Everyone from Duskbin is up top, and they're going to get the Anti-Mage. B-Boy in a lot of trouble. Monster kill onto that Queen of Pain. Godlike, only 12 minutes into the game. Triple kill. Will it be an ultra kill? Wenz has arrived, and he is going to go down. The only question is who's going to get it. It is an ultra kill. Blah is taking over in this game. Queen of Pain showing off just how powerful she is, why she deserves that early pick in Ice. You can't give a Queen of Pain this kind of a start because now 2,700 gold. What will it be? A quick Hex, a quick Aghanims. The world is her oyster. Any of these items will make a big difference. We could even see the Necro Book, and that would be a very powerful pickup as well.
That was amazing, and Anti-Mage even buying back was probably a bit of a rush decision, something he did not need to do there. But Ice, I mean, just completely caught out and outplayed there by just the one hero, the Queen of Pain, and it all comes back to that great start Queen of Pain had, getting power leveled as well as a lot of farm at mid lane just because of all those Prophet deaths. And this is led to a hero that's going to become very hard to deal with. I like what Duskbin is doing. Queen of Pain is going, taking part, leading the ganks, taking part in the team fight. Sand King is now at bottom. I mean, sure, those Burrow Strikes are helping the fight, but ultimately, Sand King getting up some Arcane Boots as well as a Blink Dagger to have in the mid-game will be much more powerful. So Lei is going to catch up at bottom lane. We'll find Winrunner coming back. That's not an easy hero to go up against. Pretty much an impossible matchup at this point, level 11 versus level 6. But still, any farm and levels Sand King can get will help out the longer this game goes.
Speaking of Blink Daggers, look how close Arjun is, only about 100 gold away. This was a suicide lane, tri-lane Batrider who died in an early engagement. In fact, look at him, 4 deaths to his name. They do have the 1 tower mid, but for the most part, he's had a little chance to farm here. 37 CS, considering how strong offensively that tri-lane was. That's impressive, especially with Batrider able to assist. Blah with the Mystic Staff picked up. It's looking to... Oh, nice disjoint there on the Magic Missile. Kind of cutting it, taking it down to the wire, but in the end he will get away. Maybe looking to turn around here. He could potentially solo kill either of these heroes with that level 2 ult. Blink in. Look how fast Vengeful Spirit drops. The Scream, actually the swap as well. Are they going to turn it around? Oh, Blah feeding away a godlike streak. Those supports are really going to benefit, but in they come looking for another kill. Prophet joins the party. The ult dropped onto Brucelee, and finally Brucelee is looking to survive another engagement. Lei in a lot of trouble. He even salves up. He's looking to go for that epicenter after the Burrow Strike. Anti-Mage ult is available. He doesn't cancel it. Why even bother at that point? And I'm not sure if he lagged, thought the Prophet would be able to get away. Could have saved Brucelee.
Yeah.
Whose Midas is pulling down.
I agree. He should have just thrown that ultimate as soon as possible, as soon as he's in rage, and would have prevented that epicenter from going off. But a bit of sloppy play from, firstly from Queen of Pain. That death was unneeded and would have helped out both CM and VS. They both got XP. They both got a bit of gold for it. And especially the CM who didn't even die. We will see picking up some wards, boots, magic wand here. And that's a lot of gold going to the Dire team.
Yeah, a really, really big kill. And during this time, Batrider has picked up his Blink Dagger, and that gives them another reliable form of initiation. And Queen of Pain, frankly, is a pretty strong initiator at this point. Although she doesn't have a BKB or a Lincoln Sphere, nothing to keep her alive directly. Just the sheer levels, the sheer burst damage is enough to scare almost everyone on ice back. And look how careful Windrunner has to play. Batrider is a completely different hero with Blink Dagger, even more so than other initiators, just because of how short the cast range is on Flaming Lasso. Look at it. It's just a tiny circle around him.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And top lane, we're going to see some supports coming in for the Dire team. I just want to make something happen with this Windrunner here, and it is going to be Lasso going down. Batrider has found the Anti-Mage. Nice swap from B-Boy, making sure he gets a bit out of position, although he's still taking a lot of damage. And with Queen of Pain here, we are going to see Sand King being the one who actually goes down, as well as Lina. Windrunner just doing so much damage. This is the power of a mid-game Windrunner. The shackles, the power shots, just absolutely tearing apart those Radiant heroes. It's only Queen of Pain who gets out with the Blink. Really great team fight, and Anti-Mage not even going down. He's going to go Blink back home probably, or may just farm away at this mid lane here.
Sometimes when you watch Duskbin, you feel sort of like Maneski, that their own aggression, or that they are their own worst enemies. They're just so aggressive, and you really can't afford to play that way against a Prophet in particular. He's always that +1, no matter what the situation is. Nice solo kill here by Blah, who maybe isn't done just yet. Could look to go on the Crystal Maiden, but I guess he's feeling wary after feeding that last death. He's going to back off. So after all this back and forth, gold's still very even. Is there any big item pickup in ninjaboogie's sights here? Not really. 68 CS. It's not horrible farm. He's actually keeping pace with the Anti-Mage, but the difference here is that Anti-Mage is 3, 1, and 4. So he's having a pretty good time. The gold per minute is significantly higher. Morphling definitely will not outcarry this Anti-Mage on his own. He's going to need some help from the Queen of Pain, from the Batrider, and particularly from that Sand King, who has... You talked about Sand King getting levels, and look what he's managed to do during this time. Level 9. We haven't seen him in really any of these fights, but I really agree with this decision. Not only does Sand King need the Blink, but he needs the levels for that maxed out Burrow Strike, the Sandstorm getting that lower cooldown, and hey, the Caustic Finale doesn't hurt to get that leveled up, as well as crucially that level 2 Epicenter. It will chew through these supports if he can land one. There's no pipe in sight for the Dire. Actually, I scratched that thought. There is. The Windrunner has a hood, but nonetheless, they are still quite squishy.
No mech, I guess. They're going for the pipe over the mech. I mean, the pipe does counteract more damage. It's 250 for the mech, 400 for the pipe, although mech can basically regain your HP, whereas pipe is preventing any future damage, and you can wait it out. But Batrider going in bottom, he has got this Blink Dagger, going to be looking to engage. Blinks in and decides to back off as Morphling, denying the tower, was not there to provide any backup. And here we go, he lassos the AM, he gets shackled. Prophet ultimate, power shot, down will go Batrider. It's actually the Anti-Mage who gets the last hit. And now in comes Sand King, Epicenter. He's no shackle shots on cooldown, but Sand King is not getting any kills, and he may get shackled and taken out by a power shot. Windrunner gonna get this kill on Sand King. Morphling waving in a bit of trouble as well. Decides to replicate out by the looks of things, as yep, he has gone right back to the Anti-Mage. Although Anti-Mage having, I'm not gonna say wasted that ultimate, having used the ultimate to get the Batrider last hit, somewhat unnecessarily, does not have the ability to get the kill on Morphling.
So he sort of wasted it, is basically what you're saying.
Yeah, wasted. It was wasted in the sense that it would have had more, it would have been more useful if he still had it then. Although he wasn't to know that.
Of course.
I mean, it's one of those things where he's like, "Oh, I can get the last hit for this kill. Why not? I need this gold more than my teammates." And often you'll see teams go for the overkill when they don't have to, just to make sure that they do in fact get the kill. Although there was no way Batrider was going to escape that one.
I'm sure the viewers will excuse your flaming in the end. Queen
Hey,
I'm just busting your chops, of course. Queen of Pain is very close to that Hex, and that's going to be a secondary follow-up initiation. And I really feel like Duskbin should not be going for all these kills, because what they should be doing is farming up those key items, the Hex on the Queen of Pain, perhaps a Vitality Booster, some power treads on the Batrider, something to tank up, the Blink Dagger on the Sand King, and with the Morphling, oh, he's going to get a kill. Bruce Lee, the woes continue, the struggles continue. He feels like an anchor around his team's neck, and this is the exact opposite of how you often see Ice's game going. Blink in initiation onto Wens there. The Batrider holding him and plays the Quap Bolt, only hitting one hero, really not a great Quap Bolt. And in fact, the Flame Break was going to save B-Boy. Another turnaround for Ice, who continued to turn around fight after fight after fight. It really felt like Duskbin was controlling the pace of this game, but they've started to piss away that lead. Anti-Mage getting close to, it looks to be a Manta style here. Very rarely have I seen a Lincoln Sphere Anti-Mage. Yeah, the rate of health probably just going to be used for that health regen into a Manta style, and with that Manta style up early, he's actually going to be able to contribute a lot more to his team than the Morphling, who's only sitting at 1900 gold. Morphling really falling behind here in the mid-game to the Anti-Mage.
No, and I really actually, this Windrunner picking up this Hood of Defiance is proving out to be really a great item choice. For one thing, it will later on build a pipe. I mean, the mech is nice, it's a 250 heal, but the Hood is giving him great survivability in these fights. Not only will you later on get the pipe effect, but just having that magic resistance. I mean, all this radiant damage is currently coming from the nukes, the Sand King, Lina, and Morphling. He's actually gone for an Oblivion stuff though, so he's not going to finish off the pipe, at least not right away. We'll see which he wants to get first, but right now, Windrunner is just the one sort of dominating these team fights. There's been some great play from Wens, and we'll see if Nick X on the Anti-Mage can get the farm he needs, as he's getting very close to finishing off this Manta style. Actually, what? There's a Yasha. He's picked up a Yasha?
Well,
it's a Manta style with a Ring of Health. Okay.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Just for the HP regen lane.
Yeah. No, of course. I mean, for some reason, I thought Manta style was used that Ring of Health, and I was like, what am I doing? Complete brain fart.
Oh, don't worry. We've all had a few before. No item progression here on the Batrider, and it seems like every time he blinks in, he either dies or he just runs for his life. Again, this is the Suicide Lane Batrider. He really struggles if he can't have a fantastic farm, and it was a very timely Blink Dagger. But since then, where is the HP? There's no hood on him. There's not even a cloak to help reduce magical damage. He gets shackled up. He gets stunned up by the Vengeful Spirit, and it seems like down he goes or there he runs. So I just don't know about the Suicide Lane Batrider. I mean, it worked out okay in the early game, but they gave away a couple of kills. Not entirely his fault. This is why I believe it was 2009 who said in an interview that they really prefer, or maybe it's ZSMJ, a prominent Chinese player said that they generally prefer to see Batrider in the safe lane or the middle lane, having a lane where he can farm effectively. If he's Suicide Lane, they like to have him 1v1 because Batrider does need a lot of farm and a lot of level advantage to be effective. Will the Queen of Pain go down here? She picked up the Hex with the DD rune, as well as that level 16 ultimate on the Windrunner. Wens is really carrying his team right now, and it looks like Lei is going to go down too. 2 kills they really can't afford to be giving away. And especially that Queen of Pain with the Hex. She should be the one dictating the tempo of this game, not the one getting picked off.
And we're going to see a Roshan attempt coming from Ice. Bruce Lee tipping in. He's going to set those treants as well. He is going to come CM VS as well as that winner in a second. Maybe Anti-Mage TPing down as well. He's going to come pick up this Aegis, I assume. Unless they're going to give to Bruce Lee, who has been feeding. But I have a feeling if he gets the Aegis, he's just going to die twice in quick succession. He's going for the Ag Step. I like the Ag Step to pick up though on him. That's going to help just apply more pressure. And right now, it's been his ulti, which has been doing a lot of damage to some of these Radiant heroes who are fairly squishy. I mean, the Lina, the Sand King, Even the Batrider, he's currently on only 1k HP. With a Blink Dagger, he's got no survivability items as of yet, apart from that Blink Dagger, and that doesn't actually give him HP, just an escape mechanism. So he's really squishy. I mean, one stun, one shackle shot, and he will get focused down almost immediately.
Wow, Wenz has actually opted for an Orchid, and I think he just full bought that filthy rich Windrunner right now. And hey, when you're 5-1-6, leading the farm charts, leading the kill charts for his team, this is exactly how Windrunner is supposed to be played. Nick X may go down on the middle lane. Oh, the Lina ultimate, they'll kill him once. I don't think they're going to do it again. In fact, are they even going to try? Burrow strike in. They have the Batrider ult. If they bring Anti-Mage down again, that could be huge, but there's the Shackle shot. So many good Shackles. This game, Epicenter, just not hitting anyone except for the Anti-Mage, and Anti-Mage is not the target you want. Queen of Pain ult again. Questionable ult, only hitting one support hero. Ninjaboogie, so low. Will he go down? Indeed he will, and Nick going to continue the chase. Looks like Queen of Pain wants to get out. The Hex cooling down momentarily. Might be able to pop this Hex and at least escape from the Anti-Mage, but even if you escape, that's still not what you want to be doing. The TP out on the high ground. Anti-Mage has no ult. No way to cancel that TP. Brucelee farming all the while. But to go back to what you were saying about Brucelee dying twice, well, hey, if you want to feed on any hero in the game, Prophet is probably one of the better ones to feed on, because no matter what, simply by pressing R, or whatever your hotkey is for that Nature's Red, you will be contributing to the team, of course the pushing power as well. And Prophet is a hero that can keep pace with gold, in spite of giving away a bunch of kills. Ice is looking very strong right now.
Oh yeah, and they're going to be able to get this tier 2 bottom tower, maybe not now, at least later, although it looks like actually they're going to get down to deny range, so unfortunately that will be denied. Assuming the Raiden team do decide to do so, or actually get the last hit. Oh, Sanking just managed to get that deny. But yeah, I mean, they got the Aegis, they immediately used it, but they got a nice team fight out of it, only losing that Vengeful Spirit and the Aegis. I mean, either way, that's what you get the Aegis for, so you can trade the Aegis for hero kills. Ultimately, the Aegis is, I mean, it's no big loss, except sort of an opportunity loss. And Sanking at bottom taking a lot of damage. Windrunner wants his kill, Prophet ultimate, so close to getting that kill. And it looks like the Radiant team, Duskbin, are going to try to turn this around, but Anti-Mage is showing up, and he is doing a lot of damage, preventing Morphling from waving out. The Manta style, Morphling goes down, Ninjaboogie, the Duskbin captain, and things now going from bad to worse. Batrider trying to lasso this Anti-Mage, but mostly just using it to help himself escape. Queen of Pain has mana for that blink, should be okay here, and Batrider going to blink his way out, but Ice find themselves some more kills, and a very important one. A very big one on this carry hero, the Morphling. Morphling, who is struggling only with an ultimate orb at this point in the game. Level 13, compared to these Dire heroes, has absolutely nothing.
Yeah, that decision to send the Windrunner down to the bottom lane was probably what won Ice the game if they go on to win this. Really shut down the Morphling, and Wenz with that extra farm, those extra levels, has just been so effective here in the mid game, really carrying his team for a difficult period of the game. Looks like Arjun is looking to go in there with the ultimate. Does he actually? No Flaming Lasso. He's just trying to do some damage. B-Boy is looking to go down, but just one kill, not a big deal. Looks like they might get Wenz, but look how tanky he is. Even if Wenz goes down, still, it's not the worst thing in the world. As Prophet is pressuring the top lane, looking to maybe get this tier 2. Some TPs will be required. The chase continues, though. The Hex cooling down. The Queen of Pain ult is up. Will it be used for a solo kill? It's not necessary. Looks like Anti-Mage coming back in. Maybe it is necessary. This Burrow Strike coming in. Oh, the Hex is available. No, the Anti-Mage ult. Gonna clean up Queen of Pain. Again, the Queen of Pain dies. How do you go godlike and then just feed this much? I guess you just have to credit Ice's positioning as well as their counter initiation. They do have a lot of lockdown with the Magic Missile, the Frostbite as well. And the Anti-Mage blinking with Manta Style, Queen of Pain immediately has to turn and run as soon as that is popped. This is a stage of the game where maybe you would like to see Queen of Pain get a Force Staff, or ideally I think a Ghost Scepter, to prevent a lot of that right-click damage and help her really shut down the Anti-Mage initiation.
Yeah, either of those will be good. I mean, even late game, you can turn that Ghost Scepter into an Ethereal Blade. I mean, it sounds gimmicky, but it's not bad on a Queen of Pain. Maybe not right after the Sheep Stick, but just the Ghost Scepter, which you can later on turn into a bigger item, and just meanwhile farm up some more more typical items like an Orchid or an Aghanim Scepter. But yeah, Anti-Mage right now is just getting a bit out of control. He has got that Perseverance. It's going to be a Battle Fury. This is very questionable, I have to say, from Nick X. Going for a Battle Fury after the Manta Style and Treads. I don't know about that. It's not going to be terribly bad. It will give him some DPS, but it's not. If you want a DPS, he could just go for a Butterfly or something here. This is just going to give him the sort of the AoE, the farming that you get from that cleave, but he doesn't really need that at this point.
He really doesn't need it. Anti-Mage attacks so quickly. You could easily just transition directly into a Butterfly. If you want to tank up, of course, there are better items to get than the Battle Fury. It's an alright choice. I mean, and frankly, he's so far ahead that he can probably get away with this, but don't try this at home, kids, because this is not an optimal way to play. when you're ahead on anti-mage and you've already gotten the Manta style, you want to make those Manta style illusions stronger. We saw how important it is to do that, and not doing it can be an issue. That game where I guess was it Ice or no? It was Mineski who went for the Abyssal Blade instead of the Butterfly. So I don't think this is a comparable game situation because the enemy Morphling just has nothing to his name. But yeah, I don't agree with the Battlefield either. Still, it will allow them to do the split pushing that is so effective with a Prophet and an Anti-Mage at this stage of the game with the kind of lead they have. And it's going to make Duskbin spread a little bit more thin. Oh, Silence on delay. Windrunner looking for the Shackles. Not going to line up for a Quad Bolt coming through. Only hitting the Crystal Maiden. Actually, that may have hit the Bend as well. Nice swap. Not canceling the Epicenter, but making it essentially useless. And B-Boy doing a great job of surviving here. He's going to TP out on the high ground. There is no Hex, so B-Boy will get away. An Anti-Mage in the middle of it all. Batrider ult going to be used, but it's not going to do too much. Actually, Anti-Mage is losing all of his mana here. Will we see the Anti-Mage go down? He pops the Magic Wand. He will blink away. Batrider blinks in. It's going to stop the TP from Brucelee. Brucelee may die yet again this game after a period of quiet and farm for him. And in the end, it's a 2 for 3. A trade Duskbin should be pretty happy about.
Hey man, Bruce Lee had done well. He hadn't died in a good 5-10 minutes there, although finally he gets found out again. That's what Duskbin have been doing wrong. They've been forgetting to go for those easy kills on Bruce Lee. But I mean, there's still hope for them. Morphling, he's getting closer and closer to some kind of item. He's sitting on 2.3k gold. We'll have the Manta Style up in about 500. Yep, he's just bought the Yasha, so it's not going to be anything like a Skadi. Queen of Pain, I mean, just needs to not keep having those silly deaths. For a hero who's doing so well, to suddenly go around and die 2 or 3 times in 5-10 minutes, that's a lot of golden XP that you give up being such a high-level hero. And the problem is going to be now Ice on the aggression. They're going to go for a smoke gank here. If they really want, they can just sit back, wait for Roshan, but it looks like they really want this Queen of Pain.
Yeah, not only was the Queen of Pain dying and, thus giving a lot of golden experience away, especially that godlike streak, that's probably the most flagrant example, but she had such a fast Hex, could have been farming this whole time. The BKB could definitely be up. Swap to initiate, Frostbite to follow, and this is a dead Queen of Pain. Anti-Mage not even forced to pop the Med-Style Prophet ult bouncing around just for some good measure and a little bit of intimidation factor there. And with that kill, they have a little bit of extra map control. It frees Nick up to farm. Up on the top lane, Bruce Lee will continue to farm, and he's got that ag in him. So even if Bruce Lee just spent the rest of the game sitting at Fountain using his ult on cooldown, he'd still offer a lot to his team in terms of that pushing power. They want to go on Wenz, but Wenz is too tanky, especially with the pipe up. Another great shackle from Wenz, who really understands how to play this Windrunner. Burrow strike away from Lei. Will they actually continue to chase? They will. Nice sprout onto the leader. She is freed by the Batrider Firefly, but it's not going to matter. Batrider gets held in place, and the ult is available if necessary. Anti-Mage still holding onto that double kill. It sounded like ultra kill for a second, but thank God for Duskbin. It's only 2 going to the Anti-Mage, but with those kills, they're looking to push the tier 2, and I don't think they're done just yet. Nobody having buyback except for that Queen of Pain, who really doesn't want to pop it. The glyph is forced. Queen of Pain will respawn in time to defend this, but without the Batrider, I'm not sure they have what it takes. Ninjaboogie has just completed a Manta Style. They're going to rotate bottom. This is a little curious. I think they should have just gone mid. Oh, bottom tower is actually lower. So it makes
lower.
sense.
It's actually lower.
Makes sense.
The creeps aren't really going to do much damage, so having that lower HP tower is just going to be slightly quicker. Although I agree, mid lane is always the high lane to push. It's easier to push side lane. Here comes Queen of Pain. Big ulti. The pipe is up. Windrunner actually... No, the pipe's on cooldown. Windrunner is not going to use that. Morphling goes waving in. They've taken out the CM, but meanwhile, Sand King goes down. And it looks like Ice Deck's still going to press on. Lena goes in. Laguna going to try to get this Vengeful Spirit. Vengeful Spirit's still alive. Lena going to go down. There we go. VBS gets finished off, and now Queen of Pain. Silence inside. Anti-Mage ultimate finishes off Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain immediately buys back. They may just be able to hold this Rax, but Anti-Mage is still alive and kicking. He's got plenty of HP, a bit low on mana. We'll have that Manta up in a second. His Prophet going to just TP out in time.
Wow, the Hex had 2 seconds of cooldown there. Yeah, the Hex is going to go onto the Windrunner instead. And also important here to kill here, but no ultimate on the Queen of Pain. And good lord, will this Windrunner ever die? Another 2-hero shackle shot! Alright, this Windrunner needs a ban next game because she is out of control right now. Oh, that was such a good shackle, even though she dies and godz is beside himself as well.
I was about to say, that was just a great shackle shot to the tree, and then I'm like, wait a second, it's shackled to the Batrider. What? It didn't actually shackle to the trees there. It was lined up perfectly for those trees, but nope, Dotu says, nah, Batrider, you're stuck in place, you're going to go down. I feel bad for that Batrider. I truly felt that was just going to shackle to a tree.
Well, to be fair, I believe Shackle Shot does prioritize heroes, at least in Dota 2. Whether it should or not, that's another question, and perhaps this game is a case for it not being, or for why it shouldn't do that, but either way, This Windrunner, oh boy, Light of Heaven maybe need to step aside because Wenz is looking like he wants to replace you as the world champion Windrunner. Of course, no disrespect intended towards Light of Heaven. He is a fantastic player. But another fight. In the end, the buyback was forced on the Queen of Pain. That further delays the BKB. I desperately needed BKB. It all goes back to those early engagements, and particularly that decision to dive that mid-tier 2. Had she not died there, it might have all gone so much differently for this Queen of Pain, and it's going to be another Aegis going the way of Ice. Although this time Duskbin looking to try and fight this. I'm not sure they can. Morphline's got the replicate. He's going to TP out, but he's ready to replicate back in. Meanwhile, Roshan taking a lot of damage. Is there a DD rune up on someone? No, there's not. But the Midas Armor will be helping. Batrider doing a little bit of scouting here. Not sure if he spotted it, but they obviously know that Roshan is being attempted at the moment. Morphling ready to replicate in at a moment's notice. It is a very tense situation, as I say that. It's not so tense because Anti-Mage just got Aegis for free.
And it is going to be really hard for Duskbin to come back and even hold this Rax next time they're going to push because of that Aegis. It basically allows Anti-Mage just to go flying in. He's got a hard up in about 500-600 gold now as well. And as a result, things are just going to be very hard for Duskbin. They've got that Mantra on Morphling, but nothing else at this point. Even with 2k gold, he can't really buy anything too big.
Yeah, you have to save for buyback. At this stage of the game, we got such a fed Anti-Mage, as well as a Prophet, exposed Rex in the bottom lane. The pushing power, combined with the fact that you don't have the protection, that protective layer of the outer towers, means you absolutely... Buyback is the only chance you have to win these fights, really. And unfortunately, if they have to buy back, that delays any other items. And the item progression has really been non-existent on Duskbin. There's still no Blink Dagger on the Sand King. We talked about the benefit of those early levels, but he keeps on dying here in the mid-game. Maybe should have spent more time farming along with the Queen of Pain and Arjun. He has gotten a Hood of Defiance, but no pipe on him. And of course, the Morphling. We've seen how bad his farm is compared to this Anti-Mage. Looks like they're going for a wraparound gank here. If they can get some great initiation on these squishy... Well, I say they're squishy support heroes, but Mechanism on the Crystal Maiden. Even the bench having 1400 health. Duskbin is going to get spotted out. Where's that Shackle Shot? Burrow Strike to initiate. Sentry Ward immediately dropped. Quap Bolt again, only on one hero. Silence onto Blah. Monster kill for that Anti-Mage who looks to be just too big. They can't even kill off the Vengeful Spirit. And Morphling on the way out. Shackled to a tree. Morphling is dead. And it looks like Blah can do nothing but run away. Prophet is not even here. He's just pushing top. Brucelee knows he's not needed. He's got a Hex, in fact, that he chose not to participate. That's how far ahead Ice is.
Yeah, and Morphling going to buy back, and that's just sort of desperate times, desperate measures, but not something that's going to ultimately help them. As this bottom rack is going to go down, we'll probably see that GG call coming any second now. Another Shackle Shot. The swap, not going to really help out. May actually help this Queen of Pain survive, but no, there's a Prophet TPM with another Hex, and they are going to get this bottom rack. Probably even go for that middle lane as well. 80 seconds on the Queen of Pain. Morphling is up. Some of those support heroes coming back soon, but ultimately, there's nothing they can do against this Anti-Mage who is just too farm, doing too much damage, and Windrunner, just some fantastic players. The clear MVP in my eyes is going to be this Windrunner, who's just had a phenomenal game.
Yeah, the item selections were superb with that quick Hood of Defiance. Not only to keep the Windrunner alive, but it really fooled the Radiant, who I feel like they didn't check her inventory for a while, as they kept on trying to initiate on her. Of course, Windrunner is a hero that you want to focus down because of how devastating Shackle Shot is. But they just weren't able to do it. The Orca was a nice follow-up, really locked down the Queen of Pain. A Queen of Pain who just never got that BKB, and in the end, I think it was that moment where the Queen of Pain went for that kill middle lane, where this game really, and failed against the Crystal Maiden and Avenge, gave up a godlike streak, gave up a lot of gold, as well as a lot of experience, where this game really turned and never, from that point, Ice just never looked back. They are going to breach the high ground here in the top lane, and it's only a matter of time before this final Rex fall. Buyback on Blah, but it's really, there's just no killing this Anti-Mage twice.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And even if they win a fight now, even if they get 3 or 4 kills, it's ultimately not going to matter to Ice. They can just suicide in, try and get the tower or racks, and ultimately if they fail, well, they're going to be back a bit later on. They can regroup, they can reposition themselves with a 4 racks advantage and an Anti-Mage going to late game, not to mention a Prophet as well. Another Prophet and Winner are 2 other great late game heroes, and 2 heroes that are very farm. This is going to be just a short-lived defense for Duskbin, I feel. Indeed
it is, and if you're Duskbin, this is all about that game number 2 coming up, and you don't want to lose too much morale. Probably don't even want to stall this out, to be perfectly honest. They're not going to call GG because, hey, there's always that sliver of hope. Maybe your opponent's internet crashes and there's a remake or some sort of shenanigans along those lines. Not that any team wants to win that way, but you know, you never know what could happen, so you got to play it out, and that's what they're going to do here. Swap in onto Arjun to initiate. Mad style pop, down he goes. It's all sort of a matter-of-fact stomp here for Duskbin, and Anti-Mage doing all kinds of damage. Lei gets cleaned up. Looks like ninjaboogie held in place. He will go down too. The GG's coming out. Anti-Mage not done just yet. He wants at least one more. No ultimate. Shackle shot not going to latch, but it holds her in place just a few seconds longer. Wenz gets a triple, padding his stats, and it's a well-deserved triple for a fantastic display by this Windrunner. 13, 4, and 14.
Yeah.
14, 1, and 15 is the Anti-Mage.
I mean, Anti-Mage had more kill involvement, but it was all about the Windrunner here. That mid-game presence. I mean, Ice were behind. That first 15, 20 minutes, Duskbin were up about 15 kills to 7 or 8. And I think they had a slight tower advantage, but Windrunner just turned it on. That switch with Windrunner going bottom lane to shut down the Morphling farm, I think was the smartest decision made all game by either team. That really made it a lot harder for Morphling to farm, who had pretty much free farm against the Prophet. Prophet who wasn't even present on lane. Sure, Prophet did give up a few kills to Queen of Pain, but ultimately, the Queen of Pain was also a bit of a disappointment when push came to shove. Those mid to late game fights, Queen of Pain getting caught out a few times, and that was the Queen of Pain who did have that easier lane against Prophet once they did that lane switch. So I'd say Queen of Pain, bit of a letdown. I mean, I wouldn't put too much blame on this Morphling for not carrying. He did have a very tough time against that extremely well-played Windrunner.
I see some people in the chat now saying that's called hackle shot, not shackle shot, and that was actually a slip of the tongue I had a couple of months ago, or maybe a couple of weeks ago, and I'm not sure if I'm the first to do it, but I think it's very fitting here. That shackle shot is too good. Ice take game 1, and hey, I think we both had Duskbin as at least slight favorites here, but they drop a game 1, and a very frustrating loss for them. They started off on top, just couldn't put it together. It seems like every team in this tournament, aside from maybe Tongfu and Aeon, are throwing games here and there, really not looking sharp, and it's all about making the least mistakes as we head into game number 2.